Man, oh man, oh man. Man, was I impressed with both pay-per-views last night. Both pay-per-views delivered. Both pay-per-views had two of the best matches on both of them. We got Tyler Bate becoming the number one contender for the Heritage Cup Championship. And guess what else? Guess what else? Meiko Satomura in the in-ring debut of McKenzie, they win over Kaylee Ray and Isla. And Walter retains his NXT UK Championship over Rampage Brown in what was one of the best matches on this show. Plus, Santos Escobar wins both the Cruiserweight Championships. Kyle O'Reilly wins his match over Adam Cole. Cross becomes the new NXT champion. Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon retain their NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. And also, there's something else I'm missing too. I don't know what it is, but I'll figure it out. Oh, and Johnny Gargano retained his North American Championship over Bronson Reed. We're going to go over everything that went down on both TakeOver pay-per-views. We're going to go over it all right here on the Ingram Wrestling News and Gaming YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel once again. I am your host, your narrator for both reviews. I am IWN's very own Brennan, here live with both your NXT UK Prelude and NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 2 reviews. Both combined, by the way. So before I get started with one of the reviews, which will be the NXT UK Prelude review, if you're new to the channel, man, hit that freaking subscribe button, man, and turn on that bell for all notifications to never miss a single review, to never miss a single SmackDown, NXT UK, and AEW Dynamite review that goes live each and every week here on my Ingram Wrestling News and Gaming YouTube channel. And also, so you won't miss my streams, my games that I stream on YouTube, so you won't also miss those. And so you won't also miss my newest Ingram Wrestling News videos that'll be dropping between this weekend and next month. And so you also won't miss my newest gaming content coming to the channel this year. There'll be a whole lot of new gaming content coming to my channel, and I hope you all are excited about that. I can tell you right now, I'm more excited than you all are right about now. And you know what? That's a good thing. Live your life to the fullest, because follow me on Twitter at Ingham Wrestling. Follow me on Twitch at Ingham Wrestling News. And also you can follow me on other social media platforms such as Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat. I have them all. Now, with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started with one of the reviews. We're going to get started with the NXT UK Prelude review. And then after that, we're going to get the NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 2 review out the way. So these reviews will be quick. They'll be solid. They'll be good. I promise. I promise you I have some good analyst thoughts on the matches that were booked on both of these TakeOver pay-per-views. Now, NXT UK Prelude started with a hype package for the hour of wrestling ahead. Andy Shepherd and Nigel McGuinness were the broadcast team. Tyler Bate made his entrance, while the announcers recapped the Heritage Rules. Now, Noam Dar entered the ring, or should I say entered the BT Sports studio. A Kid appeared on the video screen and said he will be watching. So we got Tyler Bate with Trent Seven at ringside versus Noam Dar with Shaw Samuels. Now, round number 1 begun, and both men looked for a backslide, forcing each other around the ring for most of the first minutes of the round until Bate took down Dar. So then Bate rolled up Dar for a quick first fall victory in 1 minute and 14 seconds. So round 2, we got Bate coming out of the traps quickest, working a succession of headlocks. Bate sent Dar to the mat with a beautiful dropkick with 30 seconds left of the round. Dar struggled to get into the match, and the round finished. Round 3, Dar came out kicking to put Bate on his back. So then Dar scored a close 2 count from a back elbow strike. Bate got back into the round in time to perform a helicopter spin that lasted the final 20 seconds, basically. Round 4, a dizzy Dar walked straight into another helicopter spin to begin the round. Bate hits a big uppercut for a 2 count. Dar worked the leg to good effort, but couldn't score a pin. The round ended with both men on the mat. Round 5, Bate came out punching, and Noam Dar matched him with multiple kicks. Dar caught Bate off the middle rope as he attempted his rebound lariat and locked the champagne super knee bar to force him to tap out in 40 seconds. Round 6, Dar countered a Tyler drive into a roll-up for 2. Samuels and Seven came to blows on the outside, and Bate sent Dar through the ropes into them both. Bate followed this up with a senton into Samuels and Seven. Dar sent Bate into steps and back into the ring. Bates hits the Tyler drive and 1.33 to win the round in the contest. In other words, 1 minute and 33 seconds. That's what I meant by 1.33. Now, this was a fun opener, honestly. They exploited the heritage rules to tell a story we don't often see, so that was nice. Now, I enjoyed Bate scoring the first fall early, and it's taking Dar until late to draw level. Now, you wonder if it would end 1-0, but the combustion on the outside with Seven and Samuels helped to create a chaotic finish. Now, it looks like Dar will go back to his chat show, and Bate will go on to challenge for the Heritage Cup. We saw Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews working out with Danny Luna. We got a recap of Ilja Dragunova's recent mental illness, or should I say mental issues. I was thinking mental illness, but I'm guessing mental issues. I don't know where I got that word from. I don't know where the fuck I got the word illness from. So that recap aired. Jack Stars threw some bags around the workout ring while Piper Niven barked encouragement. Jordan Devlin cut a promo from Orlando saying that he would be back in the UK after he beat Santos Escobar at NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver for the Cruiserweight Championship. Meiko Satomura made her entrance. Followed by Emilia, McKenzie, Esladon, and Kaylee Ray made their entrances as well. So we got a 2-on-2 women's tag match. So here's what happened with that 2-on-2 women's tag match. So McKenzie and Dawn started the match, and Dawn locked in a headlock, but McKenzie countered into a roll-up for an early 2 count. So then, with Satomura in the ring, Dawn and Kaylee Ray sent her to the corner and used quick tags to keep the legend grounded. She eventually got free and tagged in McKenzie. So once McKenzie was tagged in, McKenzie hit a Hurricane Rana on Kaylee Ray, and then a German suplex on Dawn as the latter looked to interfere. McKenzie flipped into the ring and hit a spear on Kaylee Ray. Dawn ran and took out Satomura in her corner. That is the vicious aggressiveness I've ever seen in Dawn in a long time, man. She's a heel now. She turned to the dark side. I wonder why she turned to the dark side. Was it because of Millie McKenzie's debut? I don't know. I guess that remains to be seen. I guess we'll find out. Maybe. I don't think the truth has been revealed yet, but it will be. Will be soon. Kaylee Ray hit the glory bomb on Satomura, but McKenzie made the save before hitting a suplex on Dawn. Kaylee Ray sent McKenzie to the outside with a super kick. Satomura locked the STF on Kaylee Ray, but Dawn helped her partner grab the rope. Dawn went for the fisherman suplex, but McKenzie reversed it into a roll-up for the win. Satomura prevented Kaylee Ray from making the save. After the match, Aoife Valkyrie entered and removed one of her feathers and left it on the ground to symbolize she was challenging either, I guess she will challenge either Satomura or McKenzie. I gotta question this for a minute. Did they turn Aoife Valkyrie heel? What's going on here? Why is Aoife out here acting like a heel when she's a babyface? What's going on here? What is this, NXT UK? What's going on? I don't get it. She put the feather down and she was gone. Is she a heel or is she a babyface? I don't understand this. I really don't. That's something people in the IWC on Twitter needs to clarify. Somebody in the IWC community needs to fucking tell me what the hell's going on with Aoife Valkyrie, because I don't like where this is going. I don't like where this is going. Aoife Valkyrie is one of my favorites on the NXT UK women's roster, and I just hope. Period. But, you know what? This was a pretty topsy-turvy and never seemed to find its grove, this match that I'm talking about. I did enjoy Isla Dawn's constant interference and heel tactics. It was a good showing of what we can expect from McKenzie with some aerobatic moves and plenty of suplexes. We've seen better from Satomura and Kaylee Ray in the past. Not a bad match, just okay. Simple. It was okay. Amir Jordan arrived at the BT Sports studio and demanded to know where Kenny Williams was. Sid Sela said the two would meet next week. Williams cut a promo saying that his betrayal of Jordan had been 2 years in the making. A hype package aired to build up the NXT United Kingdom Championship match. Oh my God. In my opinion, this match was one of the only best matches on this NXT UK Prelude pay-per-view. I think it was a pay-per-view. It's a pay-per-view to me. It's not an episode to me. It's a pay-per-view to me. This was a pay-per-view. Might as well say it was a pay-per-view. Rampage Brown versus Walter tore the house down, man. Rampage Brown was the absolute perfect challenger for Walter. But I can't tell whether Rampage Brown is a face or a heel. I can't tell. It seems like at times he's acting like a heel and then he's acting like a babyface. Same with Aoife Valkyrie. It's kind of worried. It's kind of confusing. I don't know. Kind of confusing situation there. But I'm guessing he's a babyface. Because Walter is a heel. I know Walter's a heel. But, yeah. Walter versus Rampage Brown was so good. It had me stay down on my chair. I couldn't even get up from this match. This match was so well done. So produced. It was absolutely great. It was. So the two men locked up and Walter took Brown to the corner. Now, he went for a chop but missed, which is not surprising given how good these two are in the ring. These two probably know one another. Who knows? Probably got a history between one another in the past and other various wrestling promotions. But yes, Walter definitely took Brown to the corner. He went for a chop but missed. Brown took Walter down with a chop of his own. And then sent him to the outside with a dropkick. On the outside, Brown took Walter down with a shoulder tackle. Walter dropped Brown onto the ring apron and took the action back in between the ropes. Walter further damaged the back of Brown with knee strikes and a deep-seated Boston Crab. The two men traded devastating chops, with Brown, unsurprisingly, coming out the worst. Walter went for a powerbomb, but Brown countered into a clothesline. He followed this up with a top rope shoulder block, but only kept Walter down for a 1 count. Walter managed to hit the powerbomb at the second time of asking, but Brown kicked out at 2. Brown hit a massive top rope power slam, but it only kept Walter down for a 2 count. The challenger managed to nail Walter with his Dr. Bomb, but Walter instantly rolled to the bottom rope. Brown went for a second Dr. Bomb, but Walter escaped with a backdrop. He followed this up with a knee strike and 2 massive lariats, but Brown kicked out at 2. Walter then hit the powerbomb, but only scored a 2 count. So he went to the top rope and hit a splash for the victory. And that was it. Walter came into this contest hot off the heels of last night's incredible match with Tommaso Ciampa at NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. There are so many matches booked between now and the end of WrestleMania Night 2, but Walter and Ciampa's match is the one to beat. Now, I'm sure we in the community would have liked to see Walter still selling the injured hand from last night, but I guess they didn't know about that injury when they taped this. This was never going to be, as good as last night's match, but it wasn't far off. It was hard hitting and physical throughout. There was never any doubt that Walter would lose. Now, this had a big fight feel, but I feel this could have been intensified if they had brought some fans or the crew into the studio to watch it. Instead, they had the virtual geeks in the crowd, the virtual fans. Walter does feel like one of the hottest acts in pro wrestling at the minute. He has a mystique around him that nobody else does. Now, I love to see him continue to hold the NXT United Kingdom Championship for an extremely long time, but his destiny is to finally be on performing to nobody in the BT Sports studio. Walter is a total enigma, and I look to see WWE continue to present him in this way. Perhaps he could be a surprise winner of the Royal Rumble next year, or be brought across for a marquee match at WrestleMania next year. Him being brought for a unique match at WrestleMania, that'd be great. That'd be really great. And folks, that is going to do it for your NXT UK Prelude review, results review. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you did enjoy it, though, seriously, hit the like button. There's barely anybody in here. I don't know where everybody is. But now that I got my NXT UK Prelude review over with, now it's on to my NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 2 results and review. So, of course, NXT TakeOver, Stand and Deliver, Night 2, kicked off with a pre-show. It kicked off with, Sam Roberts and all of them showing the video packages, showing those videos of Samoa and Joe interviewing Cross, Balor, and Jordan Devlin, and I think Santos Escobar. So then, we got the pre-show number one contender. We got Breezango versus Drake Maverick and Killian Dane. So, Drake Maverick was carried through the entire portion of the match, often literally by Killian Dane. However, he got a chance to show off his resilience against the coordinated tag team work of Fandango and Tyler Breeze. This allowed the Beast of Balfeast to stay fresh for an impactful late attack on the former tag team champions. Breezango had no answer for Dane, who eventually planted Maverick on Fandango with a powerbomb to earn the victory. Now, my endless thoughts on this match. This was certainly the right move. It was certainly the right match to leave on the pre-show while Breezango looked good together and played well off the oddball team of Dane and Maverick. This was never more than a solid NXT match rather than something that would have worked on the TakeOver card. It was good of WWE to add a number one contender stipulation to this contest. Dane and Maverick should work well off MSK soon as they did in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. It will be a solid showcase opportunity for the team that has rarely gotten opportunities. Now, that's where we get the NXT Cruiserweight Championship ladder match for both titles. We got Santos Escobar versus Jordan Devlin for the Cruiserweight Championship. Or should I say Unified Cruiserweight Champions? I don't know. I can't even tell which one I said right, to be honest. I'm just like everybody else when it comes to reviewing. I'm almost just like everybody else when it comes to reviewing Raw, SmackDown, and NXT UK, and AEW Dynamite, We all have similarities when it comes to reviewing all these brands every week. Live on our YouTube channels, So, anyhow, yes, NXT Stand and Deliver started off with Jordan Devlin versus Santos Escobar for both of the Cruiserweight titles. It was a ladder match for those titles. Great ladder match if you ask me. They both took control of one another, which I liked too, as well. Hard-hitting ladder match, man. Jordan Devlin was the first to introduce a ladder to the match, and the first to get whipped into one. Which that was shocking and, most importantly, surprising. Now, he was sent clear to the floor from the ring, and the domination of the former El Hijo del Fantasma continued until Devlin sent his opponent face first into a propped ladder. The two continued to battle back and forth with malice and intent, ready to not just win but hurt one another in the process. After a standing Spanish fly and springboard spinning cutter, Devlin looked ready to climb to the titles. Instead, the Irish Ace hit a moonsault off the very top of a large ladder. Now, this seemed to seal the win, but Rael Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde ran down to attack Devlin. After their job was done, they were sent to the back again. But the Irish Ace recovered in time to catch his opponent with a Spanish fly off the ladder. The two stopped each other at the top of the ladder, and Escobar headbutt Devlin off the ladder through another ladder to seal his win. Obviously, my analyst thoughts on this match had serious potential from the outset. But the pairing of Devlin and Escobar felt awkward. That became even cleaner in the match. The two had mapped out the match ahead of time. But they realized on that plan too heavy. It was not personal enough. It was tough to tell who the heel was, even after the obvious and inducting interference of the remaining members of Legado del Fantasma. The crowd had no idea who to root for, as the Irish Ace is too natural a heel, So it is very possible that Escobar and Devlin can have a great match together down the line. This was solid enough. However, this was not the epic conclusion NXT played it out to be. Escobar now needs a legitimate babyface rival as soon as possible. So we got the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship match. We have Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon versus The Way. Yeah, I said it. The Way. Hey! I'm just joking. Hey, get the fuck out of my way! Well, not that kind of way, but you know how funny I am. You know how hilarious I can be sometimes. Especially when I say, move, bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way. Move, bitch. But seriously, we got the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship match. Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon versus The Way. Honestly, even though I didn't like the idea of the NXT Women's Tag Team titles being introduced, I felt like this was a solid match of some sorts. It wasn't really too bad. But it almost feels like The Way were doing most of the work in the match against Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon, if you all know what I mean. It feels like the heels did the most in the match, and not Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. Seems like the champions would have done the most in the match, but I don't think that was the case to me. But you'll find out what my analyst thoughts are on this once I review to y'all what went down with this match last night. Here's what went down, folks. Candice Ray and Indy Hartwell struck right at the bell, getting Shotzi Blackheart alone. When Ember Moon got the hot tag, she ran over The Way until the Poison Pexy tripped her on the top rope in a Tower of Doom position. Hartwell laid out the champions, but could not take the victory for some reason. For some oddly reason. I don't know why. But Blackheart had to save the War Goddess at the crucial moment. Diving into both members of the Way, however, LeRae refused to lose, kicking out of an impressive tag team maneuver from the champions. Hartwell and LeRae hit the Way for a near fall that Moon needed to break up. The War Goddess connect on a double eclipse, then Blackheart planted Hartwell with a diving senton to win. Once again, I'm going to say this again, despite the fact that the NXT Women's Tag Team title should have never been introduced, WWE should have had, despite the fact that WWE should have had Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler drop the WWE Women's Tag Team titles to Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, that would have made more fucking sense than introducing NXT Women's Tag Team titles, because I don't think it made sense to do that. Even though it didn't make sense, this was easily the best these teams have looked together. I will say that. Which was not surprising. Each match has improved as these teams grow more comfortable with one another. Even the rough moments were solved well as part of the action. Blackheart does need to be reined in over time as she takes a few too many risks, but she certainly knows how to make an impact. Moon was the veteran face, keeping the action moving at every stage. At this point, NXT must start to build fresh challengers to the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. This feud has moved past the point that anyone will ever believe the Way can win. Just saying. So, we got the North American Championship match. We got Bronson Reed versus Johnny Gargano for the North American Championship. I was impressed with Johnny Gargano, what he did in the ring. I'm sure you all joined me for my NXT TakeOver, Stand and Deliver Night 2 watch along. Man, I watched the entire show, and that North American Championship match was one of the best matches I've seen in recent memory. Not one of the best matches on the show, but one of the best matches in recent memory. One of the best championship matches I've ever watched as a fan. Period. It was that good. So Bronson Reed, he looked unstoppable. He did. He looked great. His entrance was fucking incredible. It was phenomenal. Anything good you could say about his entrance. It was all kinds of things, man. Wow, that entrance was fucking beast, man. He killed it with his entrance. So, like I said, Bronson Reed looked unstoppable early. Every time Johnny Gargano hit him, the big man turned it around into a huge smash or slam. However, Gargano found a weakness, attacking the ribs of the challenger. Now, the Colossal kept hitting Johnny wrestling hard throughout the match, even hitting an etymonic jagged edge. But, he could not get to the pin. So the champion took advantage by locking down Reed in the corner and hitting a backstabber. After a Poisonara, Gargano trapped Reed in the Gargano escape. Reed fought to the ropes and rolled outside after a razor's edge from the stage. Back into the ring. Reed missed a tsunami and fell into a position for a super kick near fall. Austin Theory had to distract Reed a second time to avoid a second tsunami attempt, but the Colossal landed a powerbomb at the same time. Theory saved the pinfall, which set off Reed. He threw Gargano into Theory, then hit a suicide dive on the outside. A reverse power driver nearly took the win for Reed, but he struggled to pin the champion. The Colossal went for a moonsault, only for Gargano to dodge. He then hit a pair of one final beats to win. Great segments of this match, but they tried too hard in moments to make everything special. Now the Butchers were obviously, they were obvious, and it hurt the flow of the contest. That should not take away from the overall quality of this fun title clash. This was the best the Colossal has ever looked in an NXT ring. It was easy to question if he could compete on this level. He finally did it. However, this leaves a new question. Can he do this with anyone except Johnny Wrestling? That is the new question for this week's NXT TakeOver Stand Delivered Night 2. That's the new question, man. That's my question to all of my subscribers that watch NXT. This question also goes to everybody on Twitter and the IWC community. Now, Gargano did some heavy lifting in this match. Had to take a sip of my drink because my mouth's getting dry. Sometimes, literally, he kept the match going, even though its rough moments he made Reed look like a big deal. It was surprising for NXT to put over the Colossal so much, yet have him lose at the finish line. However, it is always possible that the excuse of working 2 nights in a row gives a Reed a second chance. He does not lose. We got the NXT Championship match. Finn Balor versus Cross. Now, we all knew Cross was going to win this match over Balor to get his NXT Championship match, his championship, the NXT title that he clearly never lost. So, man, I gotta tell you, man, Balor versus Cross absolutely killed it, man. That surprised half of the majority of the IWC community when they saw this match. Really. Like, literally, that surprised them. Finn Balor did his best, but he was not able to dethrone Cross, sadly. Just like Jordan wasn't able to dethrone Santos Escobar in that Cruiserweight Unified Ladder match. Now, Finn Balor goaded Karrion Kross into losing his focus. And luckily it worked. The Herald of Doomsday charged at the Prince and ran shoulder first into the steel post. Kross recovered, but he was not ready to get dragged to the mat with an armbar. Now, clearly, the Prince went after the left arm and liver of the bigger man, wearing him down with impactful strikes. This one some good MMA heavy strikes from Kross, man. I love those strikes that Kross delivers, man. Kross look like he could be an MMA fighter. A man him size. Jeez Louise. Look like he can be in the UFC. If he wanted to, anyway. But anyways, Kross hits his second win, planting Balor with a bridging suplex into a powerbomb for a near fall. Balor's sling blade set him up for a running dropkick. Instead, he ran into a running clothesline, followed by the Doomsday Suplex. I was going to say Doomsday Saitos. That's what I was going to say. Man, damn it. The Herald of Doomsday prepared for his finish, only to take a Pele kick that set up the coup de grace. Balor landed it, but Cross turned the pinfall into the cross jacket. The Prince escaped and trapped his challenger into a Rings of Saturn. This reminds me of Brock Lesnar versus... Why does this remind me of Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor? Why does this remind me of this match, man? You seen how he did the coup de grace on Cross and he didn't take it? Cross, it had no effect on Cross. You seen how he did the coup de grace on Cross and Cross did the cross jacket? Same thing Brock Lesnar did when Finn Balor coup de grace to Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar hit Finn Balor with the Kimura submission. Remember that? Similar to what Brock Lesnar did, man. I'm telling you. This feels like Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor. I'm telling you what I know, folks. And that is the truth. And if Finn Balor goes on that route and turns heel again, you know what? It's over for the NXT men's division. It's definitely going to be over for the NXT men's division if Balor turns heel again. He's probably going to turn heel and join Cross and Scarlett. Maybe Cross and Finn Balor can become a heel tag team. And maybe we could see a new heel tag team formed in the men's tag team division. Maybe. I don't know. Cross and Finn Balor do look like a good team, man. I think they would be good together as a team, honestly. If they do it right. If WWE, books them in matches right. If they have the right tag team moves, the right looks, the right characters as a team. You know what I mean? And, it has to be written right as well. The show's got to be written right. You got to write them on TV and write them off TV right. If it's done right, maybe these two have a 100% chance of being a tag team, Finn Balor and Cross. They both have the X, the red X's, so maybe I'm thinking they will become a team. Prince X, Cross X. Yeah. And maybe we could see Finn Balor and Cross teaming up, and maybe they can give them team names like the Demon Slayers, or maybe something like the Time Breakers. Good names. Give them good tag team names. You know what I mean? Or maybe the Demon Monsters. I don't know. Just, certain names. But anyways, the Prince escaped and trapped his challenger in a Rings of Saturn. Scarlett encountered, or encouraged. She encouraged. I thought it said encountered. It said encouraged. Sorry. Clearly, I'm tired, getting sleepy. When you hear me getting my shit wrong, that's an indication I'm getting tired and sleepy. Scarlett encouraged Cross to reach deep to escape, and he hurt her. He battered the champion with forearms. A Doomsday suplex set up the rolling elbow to the back of the neck, and a second to win. So Cross becomes the new NXT champion for the second time in a row. So you might as well say he's a two-time NXT champion. Might as well say it. Now, this story in the match was clear. Balor explained it before they fought. He thought that the Herald of Doomsday's emotions would be his weakness. Instead, Cross was just too dominant. His otherworldly endurance allowed him to hit another gear and dominate the Prince. It was perhaps a little too long for the tale the two were looking to tell. But it was nonetheless strong tactical work. The Prince made the challenger look vulnerable to the point, but the Herald of Doomsday was just never within his reach. Cross has never been established again as truly unstoppable. No one in NXT right now has the momentum and credibility to challenge Cross. He is the dominant monster of the black and gold brand. It will take a titan to bring him down. It certainly would. Now, we have the main event of NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 2. We got Kyle O'Reilly. Seriously, we got Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole in an unsanctioned match. Man, oh man, was this one of the greatest matches. This was one of the greatest unsanctioned matches that I have ever watched as a WWE AEW fan, man. Seriously. One of the greatest takeover matches that everyone will be talking about for years to come, man. Seriously. It was that fucking good, man. It really was. It was awesome, dude. They absolutely fucking killed it. It was the right call by WWE to have Kyle O'Reilly win it. So, here's what happened with it, if you want to know. So, the bell rings. These two men charged at each other, throwing punches. It did not take long for them to head outside. They each went after steel chairs, and Adam Cole got the upper hand. He battered Kyle O'Reilly with submission holds, dragging in a chain that helped add to the carnage. Now O'Reilly planted his former friend with a brainbuster on the announce table, but took a TV screen to the face for his trouble. Cole used a series of tools to nearly hit O'Reilly. O'Reilly stopped him. He stopped him cold with a knee bar into a triangle choke using the chain. Now the two both attempt to stand, but were left standing or sitting on steel chairs on which they battered each other with closed fists. O'Reilly got the upper hand until Cole caught him with a lariat. I'm just playing. He caught him with a low blow. I'm just joking, y'all. Cole took out the referee for getting in his way, not allowing him to win off the Panama Sunrise. On the stage, O'Reilly caught Cole in a Gallatin, something Roman Reigns uses on his opponents. You know, because he's a heel. He has to have a heel finisher, you know. Now, all that the former champion could do was carrying forth through the stage with his former friend. So once he carried forward through the stage with his former friend, finally to put an end to O'Reilly, Cole planted him with a brainbuster on the steel steps. Yet somehow O'Reilly got his shoulder up. The former champion attempted the last shot, but O'Reilly ducked. O'Reilly answered with his own last shot to nearly win. The two fought near the top rope, and O'Reilly caught Cole with a low blow. Finally, he wrapped his knee in chain and sent that knee into Cole through a steel chair to finally win. Officials carried out a stretcher for Cole, and O'Reilly looked upon the carnage he inflicted, uncertain how to react. This match was paced around a variety of weapons, each defining a stage of this content, from chairs to chain to a variety of tools that were meant to end O'Reilly's career. Now, this match kept heightening the brutality. It was an intense, story-driven, hardcore war. While WWE was never going to let this become a bloody death match, the two showed how far they were willing to go at every stage. Cole even teased stabbing O'Reilly through the eye. That's disturbing. The referee's spot was contrived, but just about everything else escalated to the brutal final. The final did let down what came before. The match went so long that it was hard to believe that O'Reilly could possibly win. The kickouts got more ridiculous to the point of almost parody. It was such a long match that they could no longer even sell the impact to go on. Ultimately, it was hard to fault a match with so much good work. However, too much is certainly possible in wrestling. This may have been too much, shave off 10, maybe 15 minutes from the runtime, and it would have been everything it needed to be. Now, O'Reilly needed to win here. He will benefit from the run that comes after. Most will look back on this match favorably in the long run. That was a win for NXT, definitely. Oh, and by the way, NXT defeated AEW in the viewership. Just for those of you that didn't know that. Yes. I actually have some news. on the viewership from last night's episodes of both AEW Dynamite and NXT TakeOver, Stand and Deliver Night 1. I have some news on the viewership for both of those shows, and I'm actually going to deliver that news as soon as I find it. Now, as soon as I find it, I will deliver that news. Right now, I'm looking for it right now. My sources has it. That's why I'm looking for it. Alright, where the fuck is it? Come on, man. Why can't I fucking find it, dude? Hold on, folks. It's gonna take me a few minutes to find it. It's gonna take me a while to find it. Hold on. Almost there, folks. Almost there. I have almost found it. Come on, load the fucking thing. Come on, load it. There we go. Nope, that's not it. I can't find it. But I did see a tweet saying that NXT defeated AEW in the viewership. I saw the tweet from Brian Alvarez from the Observer Radio. I thought my sources, Ringside News, would have the news on the viewership, but it turns out they don't. So, never mind, folks. That is definitely going to do it for your NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 2 review. If you enjoyed both my NXT UK Prelude and NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 2 review, please hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. That's going to be it, man. I'm getting out of here. It's 2:11 in the morning. I am tired. And I'm going to be going to bed here in a few minutes. So, thank you to you all who could make it, who joined my live stream, who joined my live chat. To those of you that couldn't make it from my NXT UK Prelude and NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 2 review, the reviews, both reviews will still be on my channel, so you'll be able to get a chance to click on the video and listen to me review, what went down on both shows. If you have any questions, man, always, if you have any questions, always leave me a message on Twitter or leave your questions in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for showing your support and love for me and my channel. Keep on doing it, man. Tomorrow, my WWE SmackDown live stream watch along will be live, but really I call it WWE SmackDown watch along. But it's really gonna be my WWE SmackDown April the 9th, 2021 watch along. And after that, it's gonna be my WWE SmackDown April the 9th, 2021 review. And then Saturday, I'm going to be streaming a few games. I'm actually going to announce what games I'm going to be streaming this weekend on my SmackDown review at the end of it. So, that's all I got to say, man. Have yourselves a great day. And I will see you all tomorrow on the WWE SmackDown watch along. And I will most importantly see you on my WWE SmackDown review. Peace. Adios, amigos.